Search for Jesus, Chapter 5. The Passover approaches. You're alive, Sarah said to Chuck. I'm so sorry to disappoint you, Quintus said sarcastically. I thought your soldiers killed you. Do you think I let them murder me? No, I killed them all, every last one of them. Then I made my way to a witch who's a friend of mine, and she healed my wounds. Now I'm recovered. But it's a pity I didn't get to kill you and your leper boy. For all of this happened. He's my brother, Sarah yelled angrily. Oh yes, I forgot, Quintus said as he held her up. I'm not afraid of you, she said boldly. Now put me down. I have to go see Jesus to bring my father back. Don't you understand? Don't you have a family? No, I don't. My family is dead. The Jews are to blame for my family's death. It was their great revolt against the Romans, and they killed my entire family. I was only 11 years old at the time. They burned our houses, and I was the sole survivor. Do you have any idea what it's like to watch your loved ones burn alive? This is why I've become who I am today. The Jews must be punished. That Jesus fellow is a symbol of the Jews. The King of the Jews, they call him. He's just getting in the way. The Romans are the only rulers over the Jews, and we seek to make their lives miserable. We must destroy them, but first we must get rid of their precious king. He's a threat to us, because as long we've been told that a king will deliver their people, I believe he is planning to drive us Romans away. If you were a Jew, I would think twice before I killed you. Sarah bit her lip hard. It would be unwise for her to say anything, because her mother was Jewish. Strangely enough, she found herself feeling sorry for the very man who wanted to kill her. Quintus was no different than anyone else. He was just a person who was hurting like everyone else in the world. He just chose to deal with his pain in the wrong way. She realized that this is what Felix could have ended up like if she hadn't stopped him. I'm sorry your family died, she said to him. I loathe sympathy. I hate the people who give me sympathy. Finally, John Mark spoke up. Put the girl down, he ordered. Do you think I'd listen to you? You're just a pipsqueak. Do you really want to fight me? Quintus challenged. An older man walked up to them. You should listen to him. Drop her, he demanded. Now it's 2 against 1, John Mark taunted. Fine, you can have your vicious little brat. Quintus handed her over and walked away. Thanks for helping me, whoever you are, Sarah said. You may call me Peter, and you are Sarah, she answered him. I was taking her to the temple when that man distracted us, John Mark said. Well, the temple is right over there, Peter pointed. I'll go inside and tell him you want to speak with him. You're not from around here, are you, child? No, well, my sort of brother and I, we've traveled a long way. We don't have anywhere to stay, and we don't have any money. Well, once you talk to Jesus, you can go get your brother, and I'll take you to my house. I'm sure my parents wouldn't mind you spending a few nights with us, John Mark offered. Thank you, Sarah said. Jesus was sitting down with the children surrounding him, and they were praising him. A displeased priest came up to Jesus. They mustn't speak this way in the temple. Jesus, can't you hear what they're saying? They're mere children. Jesus looked at the priest and rebuked him. Yes, I hear them, and have you never read under the mouths of children and infants you brought perfect praise? I'm telling you the truth. Unless you change and become like one of these little ones, you will never enter the kingdom of heaven. Peter came up to Jesus and whispered in his ear that a young girl was waiting outside to speak with him. Jesus came outside to see her. Sarah did not look up at him, but instead kept her eyes peeled on the ground. My name is Sarah. I have heard of your many miracles. There was this little boy my brother and I found yesterday, but I didn't bring him because he has leprosy. Can you heal him? She asked. The boy is well, Jesus told her. His voice was deep, like the ocean, and it was powerful enough to speak the world into motion. Sarah looked up to see his face. There was nothing striking about his appearance. He just looked like an average Jewish man with shoulder-length brown hair. When her brown eyes met his, she was instantly overwhelmed by the power and the love she saw in them. He looked at her as if he was looking inside of her with a love that was as sweet as the fragrance of a flower, and it warmed her heart. Although she had just met him, she felt like she had always known him. She felt the same love for him that she felt for Felix. She just wanted him to be her brother and to be close to him. She just knew this wasn't the only reason why she had come. There was another reason why you came to me, he said. Yeah, there was another reason. I need to speak with you about something else, but I don't want to talk here. She found herself trembling as her words stumbled out. Do not be afraid, Sarah, for you have nothing to fear. Tonight, I'll be going to the town of Bethany, and you can talk to me about it here. There, if you would like to come with me. Sarah's eyes lit up, and she raced with excitement. Yes, I'll come. She just smiled at her, and Sarah got up to leave. She ran out to meet John, Mark, and Peter. We must go to Bethany tonight. Can you take me there? Wait, slow down. You're speaking too fast. John didn't understand. Why do you need to go there? He asked. Jesus said I could talk to him there. I haven't got a chance to tell him my real purpose for coming. Well, what about your brother and the little boy? He asked. Oh, yeah, I almost forgot. Sarah turned to Peter. Are you going to Bethany too? She asked. Well, yes, I am, but I'm going with the master. You two can come later. Then we can all go, Sarah squealed. Sarah took John Mark back to the shelter where Caleb and Felix were waiting. Are you one of his disciples? She asked John as they walked. I believe in him. That's why you're asking. But I'm not one of the 12 disciples. If I were older, I might have been one of them. I was only 15 when he chose his 12. When Sarah arrived back to the shelter, she ran to Felix. Caleb's healed, she announced. I know, Felix said. Caleb ran to them. What happened to me? He asked. The man you were trying to see yesterday, he healed you, Sarah said as she embraced the little guy. Really? He was a man of donkey? Yes, he was, John Mark answered. Oh, sorry, I almost forgot. Felix said, Caleb, this is John Mark. He helped me find the temple. Great, now that we've all been introduced, you'll be staying at my house for the next few days. I didn't think you would object. Doesn't look like you have much of a choice. Yes, thank you, Felix said politely. Oh, but we're going to spend the night in Bethany tonight, because Jesus said I could come along. I haven't got a chance to tell him everything yet. Okay, Felix said. Sarah, thank you for helping me, Caleb said. It's no problem, Sarah said, ruffling his hair. Felix took Caleb by the hand, and the three of them followed John Mark to his house. When they arrived at his house, his mother Miriam invited them in. Who are these strangers you have brought? She asked her son. Oh, this is Sarah, Felix, and Caleb. Sarah wound up lost today when she was looking by the temple to speak with Jesus, and I took her there. They've journeyed here a long way, and don't have a place to stay, so I told them they could stay at our house for a few days, if it's okay with you and Father. You are welcome in my home. I am Miriam, she introduced herself. Just then a hairy-looking man came walking in the door and stopped to stare at the three strangers. Who are they? He asked his wife and said. Miriam started to explain this to her husband. These young people have journeyed here from... Where did you say it was again? Sarah and Felix spoke at the same time, but Sarah looked at Felix. And she spoke first. Greece, she said. Rome, Felix answered. And who is this young boy? I'm an orphan, Caleb answered. Sarah was lost our life today, but she was trying to find Jesus. And so I took her to the temple. None of them had a place to stay in, so I told them they could stay here for a few days, but that's okay with you. But we're going, Sarah started to say, shh, John Mark trusted her. What was that? What was that? John's father asked. She wants to go to Bethany tonight, spend the night there. Jesus invited her to come. I told her I would take them, he explained. Well, I don't have a problem with these people staying here, John's father said. Thank you, sir, Felix said as John's father went into his room. So, Mother, can I take them to Bethany tonight? Yes, Miriam answered. Can I come too? Caleb asked. John looked at his mother for hope of persuading Caleb to stay. He didn't want to have a little boy to look after. Miriam read her son's look. Maybe this time. You can stay here and help me break bread, she said. But why can't I go? She's only a few years older than me, said pointing to Sarah. Sarah was insulted by his assumption. Back home, people always told her she seemed like she was 9, and they treated her like a little child. She was sick of people judging her by how young she looked. She never expected she would have to listen to it here. But the worst part of everyone treating her like she was a little child was that they would always say, "Don't do this," or "Don't do that." Her life was completely full of dumb rules, and she hated every one of them. She wished she was grown up because she wanted to be free and independent, and her mother would not be so strict. "Actually, I'm 7 years older than you," she said in an exaggerated sweet tone. Oh, Caleb obviously felt that. "Don't worry, Caleb. I thought she was about 10 years old when I first met her, but actually she's never younger than that." Felix laughed. Sarah gave him a warning look that told him to knock it off. "Well, I guess I can stay here," Caleb said reluctantly. "Okay, we'll be leaving now. We'll come back in the morning," John said as he walked out the door. Sarah, John, and Felix took off towards Bethany. Because of her eagerness, Sarah felt like she was floating in the air right now. It was dusk now, and the three of them arrived in Bethany by nightfall. John knocked at the door of Mary, Martha, and Lazarus. "John, so good to see you again," Lazarus welcomed John as he opened the door. "You're just in time. Everyone is already here. My sisters have prepared a delicious meal. Are these your new friends?" "Yes, this is Felix and Sarah," John answered. "Welcome to my house." "I hope you don't mind if we stay here tonight," John said. "No, I do not mind at all." Three of them stepped inside. When they saw Jesus and his 12 disciples sitting down and talking, John Mark introduced Sarah and Felix to them all. And then they sat down. Peter leaned over to Jesus and whispered, "I'm not happy having this Roman here with us." John looked at Peter. "Love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you. Is that not the message I've been teaching all this time I've been with you?" Peter was silent after Jesus spoke these words. He was embarrassed about what he had said. Sarah went to the kitchen. "Do you need any help?" she asked Mary Martha. No, you are a guest," Martha answered. "What is your name, by the way?" "I'm Sarah." "Oh, well, I'm Martha, and this is my younger sister Mary. Why don't you go and sit back down with the others? Refresh yourself. Bring the food out in a little while, and try to relax and enjoy yourself," Martha told her. Martha and Mary were both several years older than Sarah. When Sarah looked at Mary, she envied her long, beautiful brown hair. She missed her long hair so much. Sarah went back to the room where everyone was sat down beside Felix. Everyone enjoyed their feast of lamb and bread. After dinner, Sarah asked Jesus if she could speak with him now, and he nodded. Jesus got up and then went to another part of the house. He already knew what she wanted to ask him. "Jesus, I know you have power. But are you powerful enough to change time?" The words came off more abrupt than she had meant it to. I really need you to do this. I need my father, and I need him to come back." Jesus looked at her with those tender eyes again. Sarah felt touched. "I know all about your story, child, and reversing the time is not what is best for you. We grow as time goes on, and we have no experiences. The suffering we face in this world are part of a greater purpose, and we have a plan for your life now, and that's why you were created." Sarah felt an anger starting to rise inside of her because he wouldn't grant her wish. I think we should head back now," she said. She just knew she was angry and confused, but she needed space and time to think about what she believed in. She went back to where everyone was. "What did he say?" Felix asked her. "I'll tell you about it later," she said. As the night wore on, Sarah became fast friends with Mary and Martha. The three girls wrapped themselves in blankets and talked well into the night. So I guess you two and your brother are pretty close to Jesus, huh?" Sarah asked. "Yes. He is like an older brother to us. He even brought Lazarus back to life when he died," Mary told her. "Oh, what happened?" "Lazarus became very ill. We sent word to Jesus so he could come lay his hands upon Lazarus, so he would regain his strength. But instead of coming right away, he stayed where he was for 2 more days. Lazarus had already died and was buried in the tomb. We were all very upset. But he knew what he was doing. He told us to roll the stone away, and he called for Lazarus to come out. Lazarus just walked out of the grave. It was the most remarkable thing I've ever seen. He is the Messiah. I'm sure of that now. Oh, Sarah sounded deeply disappointed. What is wrong? Martha asked her. Just that if he could bring a dead man back to life, couldn't he reverse the time? What do you mean? I certainly wouldn't want to see Lazarus die again, Mary and Martha both said. Well, it's just that... Oh, never mind. So what's your story? Mary asked her. Well, I've had a troubled life, she finally admitted. I've never really had any friends before. My father left my mother, and it was because of me that he left. He did love my mother, but he never even appreciated me. He wasn't happy that I was born, because he wanted my mother to have a boy. He never even paid any attention to me. He was just a burden. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that, Mother said sympathetically. But now you have us, Mary said. Thank you, Sarah said. Sarah looked at Mary's gorgeous hair one more time. Mary, you have really pretty hair. Oh, well, thank you, Mary smiled. Martha yawned. You know, I think we should get some rest now. We've been talking for a long time. Good night. It was good to meet both of you. Sarah was exhausted, but she could not sleep. This had been the longest day of her life. Never had she felt so many emotions in one day. All the excitement, the joy, confusion, and the anger drained all the energy out of her body. Her stomach ached because she was so very upset. But she had come so far for nothing. She still didn't know what to think about Jesus, but every time he popped into her mind, she became more agitated at him. She wondered how his eyes would be full of so much love and power. One thing was for sure, she was glad that she had made 2 new friends. The men slept in a different part of the house. Mary and Martha had entered into slumberland by now, but Sarah lay awake all night.